There's something different going on here. These cows seem a little more wild, natural, laid back. These are dairy cows roaming the acres and acres of lush green grass here in Waynesboro, Georgia, just south of Augusta. And watching over them is a team of people who care about these cows, the milk they produce, and the lives of the cows themselves.
Hart Dairy is unique in that we're one of the only farms in the country that graze cows outdoors 365 days of the year. Grass-fed is not a new concept to the United States. There are other grass-fed farms, but they're typically in more northern environments where grazing outdoors for all 365 days of the year is very difficult due to the weather. We're fortunate to be in the southeast United States where we can grow grass all year round and therefore can take advantage of that and have our cows out where they should be, grazing on grass for all 365 days of the year.
Richard Watson is from New Zealand, a world quite different from the United States for cows and people. But it's the farming philosophy where Richard and the Hart Dairy team learned how they can make a difference, not just for these cows, but for the industry as a whole.
The idea in 2007 was to bring my background in grazing and grass and forage-based farming to the southeast. So in 2007 I built the first farm. We bought bare cropland that was irrigated and basically put a New Zealand-style dairy, which is fencing, water troughs, plenty of acres for the animals to roam around, and then a milking facility that they're brought to twice a day to be milked. Since then I've built 2 more dairy farms, and now we have 3 large grazing-based dairy farms that have a capacity to milk up to 3,000 cows.
Our cows are outside, they're grazing, they're in their little groups of friendships that they have. I think that is something that people are more concerned with now in the U.S. as to where their food comes from and wanting to see how it's made.
Because we're growing something all year round, we do sequester a lot of carbon. The University of Georgia has done a study where they looked at soil organic matter and carbon and found that we sequester over 3.5 tons of carbon per year in our pastures here because there's something growing there and we're recycling those nutrients through the cow. That equals about 1,500 cars on the road for every farm that we have. After 5 years, that's enough carbon in the soil, organic matter, to equal that of virgin forest. So not only are we sequestering carbon, drawing it out of the atmosphere, we're also regenerating the land to levels that were there when the trees were felled generations ago. So not only do we have healthy, happy cows, very highly nutritious milk, but we also trying to look after the environment as best we can. Farmers have got to get to know their consumer better, but we also want the consumer to have the opportunity to know us better.
Hart is a family name for Richard, his mother's maiden name.
It's homage to my mother. We all wouldn't be here without our mothers. These cows are all mothers.
But add the E and the word Hart becomes the mission of this dairy and everyone involved. Being the country's only 365-day-a-year certified humane dairy may not mean a lot to everyone, but to these cows, these workers, and the taste of the milk, it means everything.
Due to the fact that they're grazing grass and that we use New Zealand crossbreds that are Jersey Holstein or Jersey Friesian crosses, the milk is richer for a start. It's higher in both protein and fat, which gives it a creamier taste. The fact that the cows eat grass also changes the fatty acid profile. And those fatty acids produce a lot of aromatic compounds that make the milk taste a certain way. So it has a lot more of these components in it which not only make it a more healthy milk to drink, it also changes and alters the taste and makes it richer and creamier.
Now for the next step, the milking process. A carousel operation that seems to be out of the ordinary, but coming from New Zealand, it's the norm. Every day these cows know what to do. And what's also interesting is that they tend to keep the same order lining up each day, much like a classroom filing in alphabetical order. The same girl you see in the front of the line on Monday will be right there on Friday as the first to get milked. The order isn't determined by the farmers, the cows just seem to figure it out. Even stepping off the carousel, it somehow just comes naturally.
The cows do all have an individual personality, and you just get to know them by which one comes in first, and then one of them is always the last one to come in, and it's almost always the exact same one every time milking comes around. The first one, she'll be there every day, right on time, ready to go, and then the last one, maybe she's a little bit lazier. She'll still come in, but she's always going to be last.
We have got 4 people in the parlor. One person put chlorine on and strip cow to look for abnormal milk. Second person clean cow with the towel. The third person attach the cups so cow can get milk. It usually takes 8 minutes for a cow to let the milk go. When the cow gets to this position, we have got a person taking cups off and putting iodine so the teeth gets sealed and no bacteria gets into the milk.
We have cows that are 10, 12, 13 years old or more. The average number of lactations in the US Holstein is about 2. So for us to have cows that are 8, 9, 10, 12 year plus is an indication of just how healthy and how efficient and the well-being of our cows in this environment. The cows are obviously the important piece to us, and their health and well-being is the primary focus of Hart Dairy. But we also want to be good stewards of the people that work for us and the people we're supplying. We want a story that truly shows the benefit of what our cows can do on this grass through the supply chain to the consumer.
The reputation of milk has been through a roller coaster over the past half-century, but Hart is a shining example of how to do things right. Keeping it natural, respecting the source, and improving the taste are all part of their mission. And with a team of scientists, farmers, engineers, and investors at the helm who all believe in doing things right, milk may be ready to rightfully reclaim its status as the original superfood, or super drink.